You're listening to WSTU Stewart.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie.
Opinions expressed are those of the show's host, not WPSL or WSTU or EXP Realty. Any reproduction or reuse of this program without written consent of WPSL and WSTU is strictly prohibited. Now, welcome to My Dream Home radio show. Your chance to find the dream home. And here's your host, Eileen Simons and Paula Brady. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning
Good
and Happy New Year.
That's right. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you as well.
It's flying by already.
Yeah, yes. Yes, it is. That it is. Wow. Yeah, it seems like it's moving very, very fast, to say the least.
Yes.
Yeah. So how's biz?
Well, biz is brisk. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind everybody that our special guest today is Michelle Franklin from the St. Lucie County Property Appraiser's office. And this is a call-in show. So if you'd like to ask Michelle any questions, Greg will be happy to give you the phone number to call into.
I will?
Yes.
Oh, 340-1590. Yeah. I think I remember that.
You probably hear it in your sleep.
28 years of it, yes. Yeah, I do remember it, yes.
So, of course, I know you like stats. I have some more stats for us today.
Hey, coming from sports, I live with stats. Yes.
This is an article that was published on December 30th, so just last week. It says that the sales in November had slowed slightly. That's only parts of the country that felt that.
Of course, I would imagine the snowfalls didn't help either.
Well,
yeah.
That kind of slows down showing.
Yeah, yes.
It does,
I would say yes.
Yes, it does, yes.
Oh, yeah.
If you have to deal with winter weather, then your season is just the opposite is the Florida season, because we are the busiest in the winter. But if you are in a part of the country that deals with winter weather,
sure,
generally that's your slow season, and then summer, of course, is your very busy season.
Sure, yeah.
So this article tells us that the latest decline is largely due to the shortage of the inventory, since there are so fewer homes on the market than there are buyers who would like to purchase. The other thing that's causing a little bit of a slowdown is the fast rising prices. Not only are they rising quickly in Florida, but they're rising very quickly in many other parts of the country as well. And that's, we live in an economy of supply and demand, so when the supply isn't there, then the demand goes up and the price goes up.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Stands to reason.
But it is important to keep in mind that the current sales and prices are still far stronger than they were a year ago. Pending home sales are still up year over year, 16.4%.
Wow.
Yes. All major regions are posting double-digit year-over-year increases, and that's regions across the country.
Right.
The market is incredibly swift due to the backlog of buyers that have been wanting to take advantage of low mortgage rates. And also when COVID hit, mortgage requirements were tightened up because so many people were out of work temporarily.
Even thought about that. Yeah.
So all those people, and there were some people who were in the process of purchasing, but because of layoffs, couldn't qualify anymore, so they had to wait also. So that was another group of buyers that got put on top of the other group of buyers that got put on top of the other group of buyers. So plenty of people who wanted to make a purchase. Mr. Young is the a financial person for NAR, and he predicts that home sales will continue to perform strongly in 2021. He expects existing home sales to increase about another 10% and new home sales to surge by 20% in 2021.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So another record-breaking year. We're in for another record-breaking year.
Yeah.
Which
Wow.
is excellent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, it's certainly great for you guys, and no doubt about it.
Right. They attribute that to the economic growth from the stimulus package and also from the vaccine distribution. So that remains to be seen whether or not that stays as part of the. I have to laugh because I know last week I heard that the phone systems were broken when there was an announcement made in the counties around us here in Florida.
Gotta love Broward.
They broke the phone system with so many people trying to call to get appointments for their vaccines.
They're still trying to find ballots from 2000, so it's, yeah. We love Broward County.
It's amazing, though. Hopefully that will make people more comfortable, though, to get out and look for homes once they get their vaccinations.
The vaccines, yeah.
Yes. In the meantime, we are still following all of the recommendations from Florida Realtors as far as safety and showings when we do have personal showings. We do have online, virtual showings that are available anytime. We can do that also. So, anybody that wants to contact us about showings for the homes that they are getting ready to sell, we're happy to do a complimentary CMA for them, which is comparative market analysis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we also do work with buyers. So you can reach us through our email address at mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com, or the office phone number is 772-463-6383.
Sounds great. Well, hey, your guest is with us as well.
I know.
Yeah.
We are so honored to have Michelle join us today.
Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, all. Happy New Year.
Same
Happy-
time, Michelle. Happy New Year to you, too.
Great to virtually see you all.
Yeah, the
Yes.
most upbeat individual on this planet is Michelle Franklin.
Absolutely.
And we love her at the Realtor Association.
Oh,
She has
yeah.
always been very gracious and available to us. When we were meeting in person, she would do a monthly update for us.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we really appreciate the time that she spends out of her busy schedule.
And of course, there's no growth in St. Lucie County, so she's got a real simple job.
It's an honor to join you all.
Thanks again. So, Michelle, I know that in our emails back and forth about discussing the program, you were going to give us some basics about the appraiser's office and what exactly you do.
Okay, so we have a couple of main functions. The first is assessment of real and tangible property. So we're going to value every property in St. Lucie County on January 1 every year. We also are responsible for being the official mapper of St. Lucie County. So we are going to track the deeds that are filed with the clerk's office, and we are going to keep up with the map. So when you're selling all those properties, sometimes maybe a larger piece that a new owner only wants half of that. And so once that's split, we will be responsible for keeping the map of that split. And then the third major function is actually to do exemptions, administer exemptions. So we have just over 100 different types of exemptions on our tax roll.
I was going to say there are many.
Yes, that includes, governmental and institutional and other things that not every homeowner would necessarily be eligible for. But we do have a complete list that homeowners would be eligible for on our website, paslc.org. But those are the three main functions of the property appraiser's office.
And when you say you appraise the real property, do you do residential and commercial?
Yep, we're going to do residential, commercial, we're going to do industrial, agricultural, and again, tangible. St. Lucie County's largest tangible personal property account holder is FP&L, which has real property and tangible property.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay. I would have thought either the hospitals or the school district, but FPL, interesting.
Well, and remember, the school district isn't going to pay taxes.
Okay.
Oh, correct.
There you go. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, bingo. Yep, got that. Okay, FPL. That's very interesting. Yeah. That's so cool.
But coming in a close, well, I shouldn't say close, but coming in, I believe, second still this year is Tropicana is another one with a large personal property account.
Is that because it's agricultural, or is that not what's involved?
Because tangible would mean equipment that is not affixed to the ground.
Oh, I see.
So in real estate, all of that would be attached to the ground. The tangible is everything that you can pick up and move with you to the next location.
Oh.
Also including like our billboards and cell towers.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And you all thought I didn't have a fun job.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be busy doing all that. How long does it actually take for you to complete all that assessment?
Well, you all have been to the meetings, so you know my standard joke is we work one day a year, January 1, while you're recovering, we're out there working.
Wow.
But the truth is that we're going to actually work through it all year long. So once we complete the process and give the information to the state in June, then we go through a process of actually defending the value if we have some challenges. And so we go through that period of time where there's a value adjustment board hearings that we work on, and then we immediately jump into next year. So although we technically valued the property on January 1, 2021, we actually started in November, even sometimes October. We get started on the following year and looking at the values that are happening, the sales that are happening in that fourth quarter of the prior year.
Interesting. No downtime.
Oh,
There
absolutely
really
not.
isn't. There really isn't much of a downtime at all. We get a couple of days here and there while we send our tax roll up to the Department of Revenue in Tallahassee, and we kind of keep changes to a very minimum during that time while we wait to hear that we get an approval. So there's a day or two, but that's about it.
Wow.
I know I've seen you at IRSC when we have Dr. Jerry Parrish in from the chamber, the Florida Chamber, and of course his Florida scorecard talks about Port St. Lucie doubling in size in the next 10 years, which I think is a stretch, but you never know.
Well, if you take a drive through tradition,
Yep.
it's not as far of a stretch as you might think.
True.
That's correct, yes.
True. And all the building that they're planning as well. There's a lot coming up from what I've heard. So,
Absolutely. I took a random drive, over this holiday time in the last week or two. I was on Del Rio, just north of Port St. Lucie Boulevard, for those of you that don't go south of Midway often. And on a stretch of, I believe it was 1.5 miles, there were 6 lots that were in the process of being either cleared or the building was under construction.
Yes.
Just in that short 1.5 miles.
Yes.
yeah, that's happening a lot of places in Port St. Lucie.
Absolutely.
Places that you just used to be just, lots that weren't cleared. You're driving by, and now it's like, oh, they're going to build there. Oh, they're going to build there.
Well, it's basically filling in, right?
Yeah.
Well, there it is, yes. But quiet roads like Becker Road, that won't be quiet much longer.
No.
That's getting very busy, too.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we've got whole neighborhoods that are, popping up. When you look at, some right up here in Fort Pierce, as well as Tradition, as well as down at the south end of the county.
Right.
Well, and you're going to have, speaking of up in the northern part, that whole new Tradition-like development up by Indrio, right?
Correct.
Wow. And is there was talk about 5 years ago of a Canadian developer coming in to develop west of I-95 on Midway out to the fairgrounds. Is that going to be reality, or is that still questionable?
I have not heard that recently.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I heard that. Yeah. Wow.
I thought I read something not too long ago that they had planned some type of a water park community out there, and that was
Could be
supposed to be taking place, but I couldn't tell you where I actually read it. I don't recall
Yeah,
that.
We'll
I
have to
think
do
there
some
was
research.
Yeah.
somewhat recently they the city of Fort Pierce approved the surf park just
Oh.
west. Just west of 95 on Midway.
Yeah, that must have been what I read. Yeah, I think that was it. But I thought there was going to be a community involved around it as well.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct. That's all part of the approved plan. Now, what happens, with the market and the investor and their decisions between now and then
Yeah.
are yet to be seen.
Right.
Oh yes, that's always a wave.
No pun intended, right?
Pun intended there.
Right? No pun intended. Michelle, how many people are on the staff of the appraiser's office?
Oh boy, you're questioning me. We just had a couple of retirements in December, and we have one professional that's actually started today, another one starting tomorrow. I believe at the moment we are at 65 professionals full-time. We actually have slots allotted for 72 full-time professionals, but we just haven't quite got there with COVID. It's been difficult trying to go through the hiring process and get positions filled.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
That's amazing.
Now, are you working out of your office now, or are you still outside the office?
So I personally am in the office today. The majority of the staff is in the office. We are very blessed with 4 separate office locations with it on the 2 campuses that we're on. We have an office in St. Lucie West, and then we actually have 3 separate rooms on the Fort Pierce campus at 2300 Virginia Avenue. So we do have some professionals that are working remotely, and that allows us our safe social distancing. But about 3/4 are probably in the office working on a daily basis, other than when there is some exposure concerns, then they flip to remote work. And then once everything, we get the all clear, then they come back into the office.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're available for people to walk into the office, or do they have to make a prior appointment?
Yep. So we're requesting appointments at this time because the Fort Pierce building is still closed per the county administrator. We're actually seeing people out of the St. Lucie West Courthouse by appointment. And of course, we're 24/7 online, where you can file for exemptions and find the majority of your questions answered at paslc.org. Or we have professionals available by phone at 462-1000, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our newest feature is actually a chat feature online as well.
Wow.
So we're just rolling it out. So it's not 8 to 5 just yet. We're kind of taking it in small doses to make sure we can handle the response. But you can also, if you just have a quick question, you're on the website, where is this or what about this? You can just chat the question and get an instant response.
That's amazing. You guys are right up to technical. I don't even know the word I'm trying to say, but keeping up with everything so that people can have access to you very quickly.
And I can
We're
tell you from
certainly
personal
trying.
experience that I referred a client to your website last week, and he called me afterwards and said how impressed he was with the website and how easy it was to use.
Oh, thank you for that feedback. We appreciate that. Yeah, that's been a labor of love. And unfortunately, websites aren't something that you can just do it and you forget about it. It's continual improvement with those.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about the homestead exemptions?
Absolutely. What can I share about the homestead?
Question?
Are we the only state that does that?
No, actually, many states have some form of a resident-based exemption. However, ours tends to be one of the most generous. And remember, with the homestead, I remind people it is a two-part deal. The first part is that you have the exemption, which is a $50,000 exemption in most cases. And I say most cases because if the value of your property is less than $75,000, you do not receive the benefit of a full $50,000 exemption. But the second piece, and the piece that becomes more valuable over time, is the 3% cap that goes along with a homestead exemption. So that 3% cap keeps you from seeing a large value increase in a rising market, much like we have seen in recent times.
Absolutely, yes.
Especially in certain areas like the city of Port St. Lucie that, kind of quickly are moving, are increasing more than 3%. So you receive that cap. What, one challenge that comes of it is, you've been there, you've lived there for 15 years, and I, come in and buy the house right next door and say, oh, you have a beautiful home, and you're like, oh, come see, and I see how wonderful your home is, and you've got this wonderful patio out back that has a pool and a hot tub, and it's got a screen enclosure, and you got an extra third car garage and all these wonderful upgrades. And then I go back over to my house. I'm like, I don't have a pool. I don't have a hot tub. I don't have a third car garage. What a bummer. And then I get my tax bill. And I look at my tax bill and I find out that you're paying half the amount in taxes that I'm paying, and you've got a bigger, better home. So that's where a lot of confusion can come in. So oftentimes we'll see people, especially if they're from another state or a first-time home buyer, and they will bring in their trim notice, because everybody opens their trim notice in mid-August, right?
Oh, of course.
Yes. Okay. So they bring in that trim notice and they say, I looked at my neighbor, and my neighbor has a better house. She's paying half what I'm paying. It's unfair. The first thing I say is, you're absolutely right. It's unfair. But that's what Florida voters voted back in the early 90s to give themselves a break. And this is the system that we have today.
Right.
And so what has also made it more interesting is just over 10 years ago, when we, as Florida voters, voted to also cap non-homesteaded properties. So if you have a property that is commercial, vacant land, second home, whatever it is that does not have a homestead exemption on it, that property owner will receive the benefit of a 10% cap on their property, so that their value cannot increase by more than 10% in any single tax year. So where this can also come into play for some people is, remember, with those caps, whether it's 10% or 3%, if you enter your property into a trust, or you change it to an LLC, or change it from one LLC to another LLC, any kind of change in ownership, even if you're still the principal owner, may impact your cap. So I encourage everyone to call us before you file a deed with the clerk's office. Contact our office to make sure that you understand if there is a current benefit on the property and what filing that deed is going to do to your tax liability in the future.
And I'm sure a lot of people don't know that generally. So that's a great message.
Do not. Right. And fortunately, Joe Smith, clerk of the court, has partnered with us to get some information out there. So he has some flyers now in his office. Of course, Michelle Miller will be our new clerk of court tomorrow. So we'll be looking forward to working with her, so that professionals in their office know to, hey, are you sure you want to file this deed? Have you consulted the property appraiser's office first? Do you know what your tax liability is? We've worked with some local attorneys who often put the properties into trust to help them understand this situation, and to encourage them to call us, because they don't want to see their clients increase their tax liability either. Right. So those are one of the things that people just don't think about us during that time. They don't think about us when they need to change their address, but call us. We're here to assist.
Excellent.
As a county, where are we ranking as far as growing? I would think it would be one of the leaders in the state of Florida, I would think.
That's a great question, Greg, and I'll have to research and get back to you. I don't know where we rank amongst Florida. We can look at overall tax roll, but that wouldn't necessarily give us the growth piece of it. That's more just based on value. So I'd have to research that.
Well, I would imagine that if we do start doubling in size for Port St. Lucie, that's going to be pretty dramatic.
Oh, yes. And we've already been working towards that growth for the last several years.
That's great.
That's why the infrastructure is in good condition, because they had a lot of foresight.
Yes, our elected officials that are making plans, they're not making plans for next year. They're making plans for 10 years, 20 years out, and the foresight is absolutely so imperative.
I remember when the Port St. Lucie City Council came up with the idea, let's try a bridge over the river, the Crosstown Parkway. And what a dream to drive, and it's changing, I think, a lot.
And it's beautiful, too.
It is beautiful.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love those statues or the sculptures that they have
Yes.
at both ends.
Oh, yeah.
Those are really pretty.
He did a magnificent job.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
now that took a long time just because of
Oh,
the
yeah.
environmental
Issues.
aspects
Yeah.
of the bridge construction. But, wow, what a finished product.
It makes it so much simpler to drive now, because when you were using Prima Vista and others, the traffic was so heavy. It's really loosened up the traffic in a lot of places. It's
And the same with
great.
Port St. Lucie Boulevard,
Right.
sure.
Yes,
Right, true.
absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's,
And I love to see people exercising as I'm driving by, too. To have another opportunity.
They do a lot of
walk
that, don't
there.
they?
It's awesome.
well, again, hats off to whoever came up with those ideas for certain exercise areas along the way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, again, as you mentioned, Michelle, kind of the forward thinking.
Michelle, can you spend a couple of minutes and explain some of the discounts that might be available in the property taxes?
Sure. So the number one that most people are eligible for is the homestead exemption. So in order to receive an exemption, you need to own and occupy the property on January 1.
January 1st.
Yep. How many times do I say that? I know. I just knocked it into people's heads. A piece of that some people think goes along with it is that you must be there 6 months in a day, I've heard, or things like that. And that, in fact, is not true. So as long as you own and occupy the property as your primary residence, there is no time restriction in order to qualify for the homestead. Now, beyond that, there are some additional things, widowers, which I think is self-explanatory. We do have some veterans discounts, some that are related to the service. But all of those are, like I said, are listed on the website. And I encourage people to call us. One that may not be quite as familiar is also a persons over 65 exemption. The big caveat with that one, though, is that it is an income-based exemption. So you not only have to be 65 or older on January 1, but your total household income, and the amount changes every year. So if you're remotely close to this, call us. Let's work it. Let's see where we're at. But it's around about $30,000 for the total household income. So if you're somebody like my father who's approaching that age, who says, what's my discount going to be? And I'm like, nothing. And you're so blessed that you don't get that discount.
Right.
What do you mean? I want a
Because you have a
discount.
decent income,
You don't
right.
get a discount because your total household income is more than the 30,000, and that's great news. But if you're in that position where it's 30,000 or less, and it generally excludes Social Security.
Oh.
So
Well,
if
that would
it-
help
if
a
it-
lot of people.
Yeah.
So there are a certain number of people in our county that qualify. It is, like I said, is up to a $50,000 exemption. So call us and we'll work on you. And if you are eligible, we are happy to help you get that exemption.
That's awesome.
So it excludes Social Security.
Generally speaking, Greg, remember that word, very important. Generally speaking, it includes Social Security.
Okay.
It's all the asterisks.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, it's still worth looking into, even if.
Oh, yeah.
So you know.
No, you bet.
Yeah, call us. Like I said, I'd rather people call. We'll walk through it because every individual, and it's based upon your tax return. Some people don't file a tax return. So there's all kinds of interesting aspects. So call us. We'll walk through with what's going on with you and your property. We'll make sure you have every exemption you're entitled to.
Excellent.
Wonderful. And we also have, there's an excellent booklet available through through Michelle's office that we have available. So if anybody wants a copy of that booklet, they can contact us and I'll make sure to get it to them.
Good stuff. That's great. Yeah.
Sure. Michelle, I know that you have a very busy schedule and you have to go soon, but what one thing, if you wanted to leave a last-minute message with our audience, what would that message be?
Oh, one thing. Wow. Which do I choose?
Well,
I think,
2 or 3 then.
Yeah. Well, I think the number one thing that most people don't realize is their tax liability. And we are trying to make that as easy as we can. Most people do not say, I'm so excited to pay taxes in Florida. Where can I write the check? But what I would encourage people to do when they're shopping for new property, and again, this may be a home or a vacant piece of land that 20 years from now they plan to build a home on, or maybe their lot next door to their house that they want to add to their homestead. Whatever the case may be, I encourage you to go to our website and to research down to that property. Once you get on that property, let's say it's 123 Main Street. Once you get to 123 Main Street, you will see on the left, towards the bottom of the page corner, a blue box that says to help you estimate taxes. So if you go and try to estimate your taxes from that property record card, we're going to give you a really close estimate. You can factor in there if you're going to have an exemption or not, and then you'll have a real idea of what your taxes will be for the following year. Oftentimes we see people that purchased a property that, looked at the last year's tax bill for that prior homeowner, and they get sticker shock because they may see a $2,000 or plus increase in taxes. And oftentimes what can happen, they don't realize this. They may have forgotten to open their trim notice. In mid-August, it's mailed every year. And they didn't realize it. They got a November tax bill that went straight to their mortgage company. The mortgage company paid it. So it's January by the time they realize that they were short in November. And then they're trying to pay catch up for, $2,000, $3,000 or more dollars.
Yes.
And most people don't have that kind of money laying around that they're, can write over to a mortgage company so that their monthly payment doesn't increase.
Right.
So that's one of the greatest challenges that I see, is that people just don't understand what their tax liability is going to be. And it's one thing to realize that amount and know it's going to be more and prepare for it. It's another thing when you're already 3-6 months behind to get that bill.
To try to play catch up.
Right.
Correct. And that's
That's
a conversation that I have with buyers all the time.
Thank you. And real estate professionals truly have been so great. Once you understand it, then you share it with the clients. But sometimes people even try, and I wouldn't suggest this, but try to go it alone. And they do these things by owner, and they just have no idea what's coming. So if there's a plug for using a true real estate professional, that is just one of the many reasons that you want to seek one out if you're in the market.
Well, we'll take that plug. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You just worked yourself into Eileen's next commercial.
She's wonderful. We've worked together before, and I know she's very conscientious and cares about her clients.
Thank you. So, Michelle, we wish you a very happy and healthy and successful 2021. Thank you so much for taking the time with us today, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. It was truly my pleasure. I hope you all stay safe and be well.
You too.
Thank you. It was an honor.
Happy New Year. Okay.
Happy New Year.
Michelle Franklin, boy, she's the best.
She really is, yes.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable and down to the point. I mean, you understand exactly what she's trying to tell you, so that's awesome.
Well, and she is correct, and that website of theirs is phenomenal.
Yes. I send people to that all the time.
Yeah.
Because,
oh, yeah.
On our MLS sheets, of course, it shows what current taxes are. So if you are working with a realtor who is a true professional and wants the buyers to have correct information, you'll have that conversation with those buyers right away when they ask you about taxes. That's one of the first conversations I have with them. I explain to them, these are the current taxes. That's not necessarily what your taxes will be on this property once you purchase it. So you need to go onto the website. Sometimes if they're not comfortable with the website, we will do it together and get that estimated taxes. We talk about the fact that there is a cap on annual taxes for the current owner, and the longer that owner has owned the property, the more artificially low those taxes look.
Right.
As soon as that deed changes hands, then that cap is removed. And right, right.
Sticker shock.
Yeah.
As she said. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you look at like our little neighborhood in St. Lucie West, the values of homes have exploded, and they're paying maybe as much as 3, sometimes even 4 times what we paid back in the 90s.
Because you bought it so early, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. It's like, wow. You see some of those numbers and you realize. But there again, as Carol keeps mentioning to me, where do we go?
Right.
Seriously, it's like, where do you go?
Well, I had this conversation with people not very long ago because they said, oh my gosh, we can get so much for our house if we sell it now. And I said, yes, you can, but think of the other side of the coin too. If you want to relocate to a different home in the area, you're going to be paying those prices that buyers are paying for the houses nowadays.
Right.
So, you really have to have a good realistic conversation with sellers who think they're going to sell and make a lot of money, but they forget that they're going to be spending today's market value for the new home that they purchase.
Right,
But
exactly.
none of us are realistic.
That's the hard part of
Well,
life.
it's the American dream of owning a home,
It's true.
We just went through it. That's why we're doing some remodeling in our home, because there's nowhere that we can go for the price that we pay for our home and have the same mortgage, and the same amount of space and room for all of us and that kind of thing. So
and the amenities.
So we decided to do some remodeling and updating and stay where we are. So, and we love our community. It's not that we would want to leave our community. My husband would like to go a little further north for the fishing, but it's if the fishing got better down here, we'd be in heaven. But that's one reason we stayed where we are, because you can't go anyplace and have the same, a comparable property.
Sure.
For the amount of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, you couldn't have asked for a better guest to kick off the new year. There's no.
Well, that's what I thought. I was so pleased when she could make this date for us.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. So, what else do you have for us?
Well, we have some listings Paula's going to talk about.
Yeah, we have a few homes that are for sale. There's one in Hobe Sound, the Stewart area. It's actually a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home in a 55 and over community that's just a very short distance from the beach. The lot includes 728 square feet feet of a manufactured home, and that has 2 bedrooms and 1 bath, an oversized carport, screened room, and utility shed. New roof that was put on in 2017, and the furniture is included. They're asking $70,000 for that home. So then there's another home that's in Vero, if you'd like to live in that area. Actually,
For
it's
the fishing.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, it's a condo. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo. Let's see, where am I? It's a 55-plus community as well, with a golf course, and that home is being, they're asking $89,500 for it. So if you are interested in a condo in that area, let us know. We'll be glad to get you in to take a look at it.
$89,500 in Vero?
Uh-huh.
Well, for a condo,
That's
55
yeah,
and
but
over
that's
condo.
a steal, though.
I think that's in one of the communities that we were talking about last week.
Right, Vista Royale
Okay.
is the community,
Okay.
just off of US 1. So they do have a homeowners association, and your homeowners fees are about $425 a month. But for that price,
Yeah, but those grounds are meticulous.
yeah, they
Yes.
are. It's
They
beautiful.
they
Right,
do an
and access to
amazing
the golf
And a
course.
very active community too. At 55 and over, the people there are very active. A lot of walking, a lot of golfing. 4 different pools, I think, in that complex, and
Wow.
clubhouses. Yeah,
It's very large.
yeah, very nice community.
Yeah.
One other one in Hobesound, if you want to come back down south. It's a manufactured home as well. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with approximately 1,200 square feet. It's called the Vegas model in Cambridge at Heritage Ridge South. So they're asking $210 for that home, and it does have a let's see, what am I trying to tell you here? Well, eating kitchen, new roof, AC sprinkler, well pump, 2 years old, and then the AC has a 5-year transferable warranty. Water heater's 3 years old. Impact windows and hurricane shutters. Eat-in kitchen with lots of storage and pull-out drawers for your cabinets, which is always a plus for us older people. But they are asking $210 for that. So let us know if you want to take a look.
And of course, you can always get more information by sending us an email to mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com, or you can call us at 772-463-6383. You have some rentals in there too, Paula, correct?
We do. There's a condo rental. Let me see where this is located. PGA Boulevard, east of North Ocean Drive. And it's a 3, 2.5 with about 2,200 square feet. Actually, for a rental, I'm thinking this is for sale. I'm sorry, because the purchase price is $750,000.
Oh, definitely for sale.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to rent it for that. It's a gorgeous 3-bedroom oceanfront condo, and it has views of the ocean and the intercoastal. Perfect space for entertaining and enjoying the evening at home. Spacious bedrooms, ample closets, and a balcony. Let me see. Condo comes with a garage parking for 2 cars, and the Reaches common area have undergone extensive renovations, including a brand new stunning lobby and waiting area with a TV and library, mail room, gym, and social party area. So that sounds like a very active community as well. It's a 3, 2.5 at 2,200 square feet, so nice sized condo. But now there is a rental in on Hutchison Island. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and there's 1,100 square feet. That is in the Jensen area on Hutchison Island. So it's a furnished condo, and it comes 1 bedroom, 1 bath with an alcove and a Murphy bed. So if you wanted to rent it for a few weeks with someone that you are very comfortable with, you'll be able to do that. The monthly cost for that is $1,700. So
Is that on the beach
it doesn't say that it's
or the riverside? Either way, I mean, it's a nice view.
Yeah, it doesn't say exactly, but like you say, on the island, so you don't have too far to go either way.
We have a good view no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
exactly. So.
Wow. That's good.
One last rental is a townhouse in Castle Pines. It's St. Lucie West near PGA Village. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath with 1,653 square feet. Spacious, 1-car garage townhome, new AC, freshly painted, carpet in the main areas and upstairs, and tile in the baths and the kitchen. Screened patio with a view of a pond. The owner's suite is on the main floor with walk-in closets, dual sinks, large glass shower, washer and dryer on the main floor, and a half bath on the main floor. So upstairs you have a loft overlooking the downstairs living area, and the amenities include a guard gate, pool, and playground. They are asking $1,900 a month for that rental. So let us know if you need to see one of these. We'd be glad to show you.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. I like that one on the beach.
Yeah.
Not too shabby.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's still available, actually.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about our featured community today.
Oh, yes, yes.
Our featured community is the Florida Club, which happens to be where our office is.
Home of your office, yes.
Correct, yes. The Florida Club is a beautiful community that has 2 gated areas, so all of the residences are in gated areas, but the golf course is a public golf course, so anyone can come and play the course. Our office is right across the street from the course clubhouse, which is also public access. There are 2 entrances to the Florida Club. You have the main entrance off of Canner Highway, just west of 95.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a private entrance for residents only that's off of Pratt Whitney as well. But don't try to go in the back way if you're just coming to play golf, because you have to be a resident with your
The
clicker,
Yep.
with your clicker to go through that private entrance off of Pratt Whitney.
Yeah.
But if you are going South Stewart or Hobe Sound or Jupiter, Tequesta, any place in that area, it's so convenient to go out that back exit and go down Pratt Whitney.
Yeah, Pratt Whitney is very quick to get into Palm Beach County. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
there's no doubt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
So there are a little over 500 homes between the 2 gated areas in the Florida Club. They were all built out. There's no new construction in there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they've been built out since about 2005.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes,
Wow.
and the properties go all the way from duplex-style villas, which have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-car attached garage, all the way up to the larger estate homes, which some of those have 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3-car garage, or 2-car garage with a cart garage, a cart access on the other side of the garage. Those are larger homes also. Some of the in-between size ones are 2-bedroom plus a den, and 2-car garage and 2-bathroom. And there are also 3 bedrooms with a den that are about roughly 2,000 to 2,100 square feet. And most of the properties, I don't want to say most, some of the homes inside the Florida Club have their own private pools and screened-in lanai areas. There is a community pool, community tennis courts, community room that once COVID is gone, they'll have activities in again.
Mm-hmm.
And that is also...
That's our new reality.
Right.
Yeah.
That's also in the one gated area. The one gated area is called the Lakes, and the other gated area is called Cruden Bay and the Estates. And we have all the information about the properties for sale in there. You can also go on a wait list because there are only 3 properties for sale right now.
Out of 500 homes.
Out of 515, there's only 3 houses on the market.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's amazing. That is really, and of course, Martin County Schools, too,
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
which are phenomenal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
That-
of
that
course,
sounds great.
easy access to 95.
Yeah.
So it makes commuting very easy.
You bet. Oh, yeah. And of course, you can go straight up Canner Highway if you need to, or, yeah, either way. Yeah. Or go out to the new burgeoning community of Indiantown, which
Oh, that's growing like crazy too.
I couldn't believe it. Last time I was out there, I'm going, where did all this come from? But yeah, it's really growing out there.
And a little known by many people is that the water is very easy access from the Florida Club also. There is a huge marina that's very close by,
Yes.
which makes it more attractive, more attractive that way, I think.
Sure. You bet.
Yeah, if you're a boater,
Yeah.
to get out to the water or places to fish.
Well,
Yeah.
see, that's just tell your husband.
Yeah.
Get us a boat and we'll move down there.
Well, they have the boat.
Yeah.
They
we
got the boat. Well, hey, you're halfway there.
Yeah, I don't go too often on the boat though. It's a small flats boat, but he has a good time with it. So
There you go.
yeah.
That's all that counts. Wow, this hour has flown by. There's no doubt about it.
It's amazing.
Any other thoughts for you?
Well, we just want to give contact information
You
again. And remember, this is an interactive program. So if anybody ever wants to call us to ask questions, we're happy to discuss subjects related to real estate with our audience. So you can call us here at the station.
Give us a buzz during the show, 340-1590. Outside the show, your phone number?
Outside the show, 772-463-6383. And our email address is mydreamhometeam@yahoo.com. Have a wonderful day and Happy New Year, everybody.
Enjoy the beautiful weather.
Happy New Year. You've been listening to My Dream Home radio show with Eileen Simons and Paula Brady. Right here on WPSL, Port St. Lucie, Dock of the Treasure Coast, webcaster to the world, and WSTU, Martin County's Heritage Station since 1954. It's 11 o'clock.